Hello, I'm Mark Schaldhausen. Because things on the internet seem to lose their date references pretty quick, today is Saturday, October 11, 2025, and Shiloh, who was introduced on another video, just came in. Shiloh's the puppy that we are adopting, 33-month-old puppy. On Saturday, September 27, 2025, we finally got to a place we wanted to see for quite a while, the Petrified Forest National Park in Arizona. And this is a massive complex, and inside the Petrified Forest National Park is the Painted Desert, which is like really cool. And I'm gonna show you some of the photos we took there. I took over 400 photos, but I take a lot of photos. They're digital, they're close to free, and a fair amount of videos as well. So we're going to show you that. I love nature, I love geology, geography, topography, dinosaurs, dinosaur wrecks, okay? This was a fun visit, and you, as I will address in the video, you enter on the northeast corner, drive to the southwest corner, or enter on the southwest corner, drive to the northeast corner. So there's only there's only two entrances to the park, and you can obviously do a U-turn and go out the same entrance you came in. Doesn't matter. Really beautiful park. Really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun there. Use your imagination, and the rocks will become characters. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in another one. On Saturday, September 27th, 2025, we were coming back from riding the Compress and Toltec Scenic Narrow Gauge Railroad from Shama, New Mexico to Antonito, Colorado. A fantastic railroad, and we had wanted to see the Petrified Forest Painted Desert, which is one combined park, national park, several times. It just hadn't been in our travel via however you want to call it, and convenient to our travel route. And on the 27th of September, we had scheduled it. We were going from Farmington, New Mexico to Williams, Arizona, and on Sunday, the 28th of September, we're going to be riding the Grand Canyon Scenic Railroad, railroad. So this is some of our photos from the Petrified Forest and the Painted Desert. I'm not going to narrate every slide. I'm not going to narrate very many of them at all. I will tell you that we have been in numerous national parks. Really enthusiastic visits on some of them, and on others it's this place is rocks and trees, which the rocks and trees are beautiful, but they're rocks and trees. And Yellowstone was really cool because we saw some wildlife. Buffalo were walking around on the street, road next to us. We saw Old Faithful. Grand Teton was a bit of a letdown, not because of Grand Teton, but because there were fires in the vicinity, and everything was grayscale. The smoke was so bad. So that was a letdown. This was not a letdown. This is a fantastic park, and as you'll see as we go through here, there's a number of facets to this park. And so you have the overall complex, the Petrified Forest National Park, and then inside of it you have the Painted Desert. And the Painted Desert is really cool. The Petrified Forest is really cool. You're going to see some fantastic stuff. So let's kind of move on. I'm using several different sources for this, and one of them is National Park Service. The other one is going to be Wikipedia, and then whatever Google comes up with. Basically, the park, the national park, which is in the state of Arizona, primarily, I guess, in the state of Arizona. It's a big national park. You're going to be driving from north to south. There's only two entrances, or south to north. You can either come in the north entrance and go south, or come in the south entrance and go north, or come in the south entrance, go part way through, and turn around and go out the south entrance, whatever fits your bill, so to speak. We spent probably 5 to 6 hours easily in the park. We were expecting to spend maybe 2 to 3, and the park totally surprised us. The beauty of the park was absolutely amazing, and the roads in the park were fantastic. They were all paved, and there were also spots where you could pull off on the side of the road and park, look out, so to speak, and there were also a few drive off the main road onto fingers, side roads, and visit the stuff. So it was really it's a really well defined, well designed park. Going over to Wikipedia, Petrified Forest National Park is in Navajo and Apache counties, northeastern Arizona. Petrified wood and the painted desert aspects, 346 square miles, and encompassing several different types, and I'm adding some of this, several different types of topography as you go. And a lot of this region was, as you'll see in the coloration in the painted desert in particular, where the water levels came in, the lakes, oceans came in, dropped sediment, and then retracted, and then that hardened, and then a new level came in and laid off another layer, a different coloration, and then that retracted, and then a new one came through, and glaciers came through, and whatever else. Really cool. And among other things, this park is basically 5,400 feet above sea level. My wife doesn't do real good with higher altitudes. This one was near the peak, and we managed to do this pretty cool. So as you come through here, I absolutely love geology, topography, how it works, and the multiple layers. And I've just got a whole bunch of massive pictures in here because it's absolutely amazing at how distinct the presentation of the eras that have encompassed this area have presented themselves. I was absolutely amazed. And there's two types of signage in the park, and at this point in my photos, we're at the second, or really the first signage. There's pictographs in numerous areas of the park, and when you look at them, they're very descriptive. There's a lot of signage from the National Park Service telling you what these are, what they're interpreting these are, and how long they've been there, things like that. So this signage, some of it's fun, some of it's very presentational, if that's a good word, of life, and one of them that was at the beginning of this audio clip looked like a big bird that had a toad or a lizard of some kind in its bill. There was a lot of pictographs throughout a couple of areas of the park, and we had been in Mesa Verde National Park in southern Colorado, where we had been on Thursday. They are covering these up inside buildings to protect them, and I'm wondering if they're going to do that here. This park absolutely amazed me, really did. With its presentation, with its signage, the signage from the National Park Service I thought was top notch. The signage in all of our national parks, in my opinion, have been really, really good. I love reading them, I love learning things, and the signage in this park was absolutely super. The one thing I wish they could do was come up with signage that's not reflective in its finish. Trying to take photos of the signage, then you get the reflections back on it. it's got to be a possibility somewhere somehow. But I mean, that's nature. Well, I had a computer crash and kind of lost my train of thought here. Had to initially I let it wait. I use TextMist Camtasia, and I'm operating in a version of Camtasia 2021 because that was when you bought it and installed it on your computer, and it lasted forever. Now the new stuff is annual subscriptions, and if I was doing this for income or whatever, I would not have a problem doing that. I do this for fun. So the Petrified Forest National Park, and the painted desert inside the national park, to me, are just really cool because the distinctions between the era's layers, the layers of the era, are so distinct and so visible and so beautiful, and I love learning stuff. The signage in the park is absolutely fantastic, and as you go through this, I have the photos set up as at their default values. The other thing that makes this park really interesting is you go through, as you drive through the park, you go through distinct areas where if you were paying attention, one of them is just sand, the other one is sagebrush, the other one is a mix of sand and sagebrush, gullies, plateaus, flats, mesas. The park is really diverse, and when you add the true colors of what's referred to as the painted desert, and then the coloration and the presentation caused by the petrified trees, which aren't really petrified trees, they're minerals that have replaced the organic materials of the trees, and that's okay, we still call them petrified trees, going really cool. So kind of fun. To me, this was one of my very best national parks. And you enter on, as I said earlier, either the northeast or southwest corners of the park, and then you can drive through the park or do a U-turn and go back out your entrance, whichever you want. And we spent probably 5 hours there. I mentioned this earlier. In one of the centers, there's visitor centers near the northeast entrance, a couple of miles in, and they're all really nice, the staff. And there's not only National Park visitor centers, there's also the National Parks Foundation visitor centers. And towards the southern entrance is two more visitor centers, once again National Parks and Foundation. And at the National Parks Visitor Center is where we met and crossed with Lex Shaw, as I recall his name, LEX, and with me being REX, I just thought that was funny. And he was super in a number of things, partly because I was trying to get away courteously from an individual who wanted to talk about the military, and I wanted to see the park. I would love to have had the conversation with him, but I was operating on a timeline. And then Lex had a really good presentation on how the layers of the park, which cause the painting, if we can use that phrase, are done. And that was absolutely cool. That was like really slick. I have an imagination, and the park is a mix of, as you see the photos, widely varied topography, and the erosion on the rocks, both by wind and by water. We use our imagination and we have fun with these, and we see things that it's just coincidental, and we joke about what we see and how we see it, and ape faces and lying down apes and guardians of the galaxy, whatever. The Colorado National Monuments Park, southwest of Grand Junction, Colorado, is another one that the rocks are absolutely beautiful and inspiring for your imagination. It is an area of dinosaurs, and that's what we're going to come up to as you view this. And I'm not trying to sync my videos in anymore. I'm just letting them roll. So there was presentations about what is and what isn't a dinosaur, and there were dinosaurs in this area, but some of the bones that are fossilized aren't dinosaurs. And I was discussing this with someone else after our trip, because they were citing a movie where man was fighting dinosaurs. Man and dinosaurs never coexisted. So that was movie magic. But when you also consider that crocodiles, alligators, sharks, rays, cockroaches are part of the transitional life out of the dinosaur age. Maybe we still exist with dinosaurs. If you wanted that argument, you can have that argument. I'm not going to fight that one. But man never fought a T-Rex. Man never fought a Stegosaurus. Jurassic Park, whatever. Interesting concept, and it is being done. This is absolutely beautiful. This park is absolutely beautiful, and I'm probably going to let it go into silence here for a little bit. I'll use the phrase by the rules, and I can't cite or quote the rules. I haven't read the rules to this detail. I have talked to park rangers about this. The parks are learning centers, and part of learning is handling the objects. So while you're in the park, you are allowed to pick up an item, examine it, talk about it, photograph it. You're asked to put it back down in the exact spot that you picked it up from in the same state. So if you were to pick up an example, say a quarter that was heads up, 6 inches from the path, just as an example, when you got done examining it, it would go back down 6 inches from the path, heads up. And people were throwing pieces of petrified wood to see how far they could throw them. That violates the concept of the park. Violates what privileges you have, what rights you have, whatever. But they were doing it, and it's annoying. You're not allowed to remove petrified wood or any items from the national parks. They wouldn't probably get mad at a leaf that fell off a tree or an acorn, but pieces of petrified wood, bone, birds' eggs, things like that, no. And you can, in the foundation stores at the Petrified Forest National Park, buy, and we did, containers of petrified wood, and they come with a statement that says they were collected on private property, they are legal, they're not from the national park. So we bought a container, and that's what we are giving to numerous people along the way. We just passed it, sorry about that, but they found a tree that was spanning a creek bed, and knowing that the tree was degrading, because these are rock, the sun is heating them, as the sun goes away at night, they're cooling. These are cracking, these are rocks, and Native Americans have used this tree to cross this creek for years. the national park went in and reinforced it so that it wouldn't fall. It's one of the few things they've done to significantly modify any of the petrified trees in the forest, in the petrified forest, and they did it to maintain its presentation and its significance in a way to cross this creek. Kind of cool. And if I remember my signage, it takes somewhere between 2 and 200 million years to get a petrified tree, water penetrating the tree, carrying minerals with it, the minerals overcoming the organic portions of the tree, hardening, setting as the tree dries out over and over and over and over again. And the T-Rexes walked this area 135 million years ago. So the T-Rexes could have been walking on those trees. Chances are some of those trees were actually deep under sediment, the fill, the soil, as the waters came and went. And over time, as this became a desert area, the wind and the rain that did come started washing the topsoils away and making these petrified trees, which are true works of Mother Nature's art, visible to us. And they simply amaze me. I just think they're absolutely beautiful. So we were there Saturday, September 27, 2025, and the day was partly cloudy to cloudy. There was a light breeze, and in most of the videos I have silenced the audio because you can hear the wind hitting the microphone, causing that wind effect on the microphone, so plus it would overcome what I was saying. So that's been silenced. We had a light breeze. Occasionally we had a gust of wind. We did get some rain, not enough to really annoy us or ruin our day. It was a really good day to be in the park. It was probably 75 to 80 degrees, and when we were doing our walking, we're normally carrying fluids, beverages, water to stay hydrated, and there are numerous signs around there. There was a picture of an alien earlier in the video. There was a pedal to park, I think is what it was called, event going on that day, and they had a bunch of people that were pedaling the park, and there were aid stations, and that alien was set up in an aid station. And we had done Roswell, New Mexico on an earlier trip, and I think the big museum in Roswell did a really good job. I'll have to do a video on that sometime in the future. I'm way behind on videos. Anyways, we had an absolutely beautiful day, and as if you look in the sky on these photos as you go, you'll see that it just turned out to be an absolutely perfect day. On Sunday, the 28th of September 2025, we did the Grand Canyon Railway out of Williams, Arizona, to the southern rim of the Grand Canyon. And when we got there, we saw the Grand Canyon for about 20 seconds, and then it fogged in, and it was rainy and misty the rest of the day. Just before we left, we got a couple of shots of the Grand Canyon that were clear, but it was still a nice day. It was a nice train ride. So I'm probably going to let this go in silence for the rest of the video. They did have some of the dinosaurs and some of the skeletons, and they do talk about what is and isn't a dinosaur, so that's kind of cool. And the buildings, one of the encampments that was built here hundreds of years ago, the ruins are still there, and they're protected, and so there's photos of those are in there. I think our national parks are one of our absolutely most beautiful facets of this country. As I said, we have been in several of them, numerous of them, and we did Mesa Verde on the Thursday before this, and that's absolutely beautiful. So I'm running behind on making videos and not sure how many of them I'm going to make because I've got other things that I'm tangled up with. So I'm going to let this go to the end in silence. Thanks for watching. Hope you drop in and see us again. I will be making more videos of the stuff we're doing here. Thanks for watching.